Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 17 Quarterfinals. Today we're taking another look at the Lotus Orbange Chicken and Shadow Shaman's Swedish Shawarma lineups, the Nick and Reedy teams. With me here today is the Dr. Dota, Randy.
Hello there.
I have a feeling if this game goes like it's been spoiled for me to go, in part by Randy actually, then they're going to need the therapist of Dota after this. Of course, it's already been spoiled for you by the fact that you can't see a part 3 in this week's playlist, but you know.
Oh, that's true.
OD gone down, Sand King going down. Once again, oh no, it's actually, I was going to say, once again, a lot of thought being put towards J-Bay in particular. Nope, it's actually Reedy doing the ban of the OD. Say, Chobro hero. Actually made it through last round. They want him to pick it again. They were like, we are not impressed by your DK. I wouldn't be either. It didn't impress me. Timbersaw down, Windrunner down. You totally can let it through. They just showed it very well. You can totally let that hero through now and just counter it out. It is, like, not that good. I promise it's not 100% PB worthy anymore, guys. Like, even if you take the Drow getting, like, in a great game, getting monster fed out of the equation, like, did you see that fight at mid where DK's going all in on Dawnbreaker and, like, gets a big drop on her and everything and does, like, a fifth of her HP before she gets away? Like, that's Dragon Knight, guys. Anyway. Jeff J-Bay heroes again. Bringing out the fat man. Alright.
Alright.
Wonder who's playing Budge.
Auto.
Radiant team back.
Auto with 500 ping.
I hope. Pages is gonna show him how to play techies. Very nice. You know, there was a game, you know, if we're in the world where these picks were opposite, I would have had the opportunity to tell a story about how there was a match I played with Reedy where he picked Pudge and it went so well that he removed me after the game.
Damn.
I think he did. I think I had him. I might not have had him added. Disclaimer.
Yeah, there he is. Last online 12 hours ago.
No, I'll be really excited to watch this game in another 12. I'm sure.
Dire team pick.
Again, outside of the Darkseer ban.
Sure.
Outside of the Darkseer ban, still pretty much just all in on J-Bay. Much more equitable spread. Some pause 1s, pause 2s, pause 3s. They do not care about trying to ban out the ghouls, poor ghouls. They do not care about banning out ghouls or auto. They're just letting them pick whatever. It's probably assuming it's ghouls on Pudge, which isn't the worst assumption in the world. And the Reflexy Rubik got through again.
And there's a putter in the game, alright?
This seems ill-advised.
10 seconds.
They had so much time to get rid of that thing. Did they not realize that it had a pretty substantial impact on the last game? Like, did they miss the part where Rubik, like, in the Lion just bamboozle the Snapfire and get to steal her ult for free? Did they miss the part where there are a bunch of obnoxious, horrific levitates that were just getting people killed? Which, in fairness, was partially because of how late the BKBs were delayed, but also, you get the BKBs any sooner and you still just you still have a massive damage gap and you're still dying, but either way. Did they miss all of that? Do they think that Reflexy's Dota buff page is a bluff? Do they think it? I don't know. It's very weird. Can't really tell. What would make you think that's like a good idea? I don't know. Nick has already decided to FF.
Depending on what you're picking, I don't know.
True.
Maybe they picked something that Husker would wreck.
Anti-mage.
Anti-mage, I guess. Yeah.
You're gonna be showing godlike Matt how it's done.
Radiant team pick.
See, there it is! In fairness, that is something pretty horrific to be playing into Huskar. Actually, most of JB's pool, really. It's also very bad against the Dawnbreaker and the... Well, no, it owns the Timber Saw,
10
but...
seconds remaining. 5 seconds
Ember Spirit
remaining.
is like the classically bad Huskar match.
There we go. Let's see if we get it. In 30 seconds. Holy crap, Nick, hurry up.
Maybe. Well, I mean, it's just like fleshing out the rest of this draft, I assume.
Well, I don't want to bloody pick. Oh yeah, great idea. Flesh out the rest of your draft when they have 2 picks and 2 more bans. This is not the spot to be doing that.
Dire team pick.
I don't want to play bloody Nature's Prophet. In it, bruv. It's a crap
too
hero.
bad.
This is like, not only did they let the Rubik through, they just made like another god tier Rubik game too. Stealing Exo, stealing the Nature's Prophet, teleport, and ult. Stealing Hook and Dismember. I mean, there's like the worst skill that he can possibly get right now is like the Death Prophet bats. And that's not even bad. Like, this is horrific. Rubik is poised to walk all over these guys. And there's a core in that trio too, so it's not just like he owns the support line. It's like he's walking all over a core in this game, for God's sake. You know what Rubik with Spirit Siphon is like? That's a lot of fun.
Dire team pick.
Here comes Centaur Warrunner, the Big Boy LaCroix Classic. A little bad into Death Prophet, but something that Nature's Prophet can basically never gank.
10
And has some
seconds
fun
remaining.
combos. Especially with some of the stolen Rubik spells. I mean, what's scarier than Rubik with Exo? How about Rubik running 1,000,000 miles per hour with Exo? And here's Leshrac.
DM from Otto.
Oh
He
no.
knows. Did you ask Copless if he was interested in coming on?
We're not having a 4-man desk, Otto, for God's sake.
5 seconds remaining.
Tell him no. We don't do 4-man desks, and also...
I said, I assume you were gonna ask him for finals.
Yeah, that's true. That was actually my
Maybe
plan.
You were planning on it.
Radiant team
Yeah,
back.
I told him that.
So yeah, not only do we not do 4-man desks, let's also not double dip. So there's that. I mean, I guess
Oh,
we'll have
you
to
can
see what
tell
happens
us
in the other
later.
series, but...
Dire
you know
team
what? No, I'll tell him right now.
It's funny how he DM'd me while we were doing his game. What a world.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
There we go. I've also asked him who he didn't want to play so bad that he almost ran out of reserve time when it was being picked. I assume it wasn't the Furion. I assume Furion was the compromise choice. You know. By the way, Marcy, another good Rubik target, and
10
like,
seconds remaining.
kind of bad in a Centaur Warrunner, honestly. Like a hero that you can't really kill as a Marcy, who's presumably going to be core, unless it's a core like Pudge. Excuse me, core Pudge, I guess. Can't ever really kill the Centaur Warrunner. Kind of bad at even chasing him. Very easily get into situations where you're just like jumping into his entire team and dying.
10 seconds
Can throw him,
remaining.
there's that, but
Radiant team pick.
So you don't have any stuns outside of the Pudge Dismember. Like, you throw somebody and they just keep running anyway, you know? They don't have any stuns except for the Pudge Dismember, and there is 4 things that stop the Pudge Dismember on the Dire, by the way. Which, maybe...
We
5
buy
seconds remaining.
Hex on Nature's Prophet.
There you go.
Dire team pick.
Okay. See?
So there's Medusa, who's also...
You're gonna anti-rage. What? You're gonna need an anti-rage.
Yeah, this is like, why not pick the Anti-Mage? They didn't ban it. They didn't ban it,
Why
it's
are
like
you
not
picking
bad.
Medusa?
What the
10
hell?
Weird.
seconds remaining.
It's Evolution Pyro's main hero, I
5
think.
seconds remaining.
There's that. But...
This Weaver ban is extremely weird to me.
Otto von Bismarck just said, and I quote, "Bro, I don't know what was going through," Nick said.
And you just picked Dusa without an anti-rage being banned. I don't know.
And they banned out the Weaver instead.
I mean, that hero
Apparently-
does have innate mana.
The
So,
actual answer was that he was just sitting there saying, "I'm thinking," for almost 2 minutes straight.
He's thinking. And what he thought of was this, apparently.
Anti-mage.
Choose
Wow,
your hero.
okay. Great.
Hey, here comes the AM.
Game is over.
Yeah, this is like a super baller anti-mage game. He's not afraid of, like, the worst thing that could possibly happen to him is the
If I was
DPS.
Pyro, I would be like that, sweating with the veins bulging out of his head meme right now.
This wasn't even like a nice, comfortable Medusa game before that happened. I mean, she sucks ass into Centaur too. Like Centaur can really ruin her ult if she's trying to use it offensively, because it's just like, it's a disengage that perfectly matches it. She just can't get in front of anybody's face or moving too fast. She can't hit him because he just is gonna reflect it back. And she can't not hit him because she's Medusa. Like, it's already a bad matchup. I don't know what that was very confusing. It's like, don't let the fact that this is a baller anti-mage game distract you from this. Is the fact that this is a super baller Centaur game too, and that's, by the way, Big Boy LaCroix's main hero. You know.
Agreed. He doesn't play anti-mage that much if he's level 3, but I feel like I've seen him play it before.
He's done it at least once in this season. Yeah.
Prepare for battle.
I don't understand why he did banned Weaver instead of it. Like, Weaver has mana break, but
He's
It's
not
not-
scary.
he buys mana break.
And he gets it in a talent
But,
too.
You know another hero that is concerning for Medusa is anti-mage. I don't know.
It's anti-mage, and sadly, Reedy is him.
It is
It's just so baffling. I really don't understand it. And again, don't let it distract you from the fact this is a super good Centaur Warrunner game, and by the way, that's Big Boy LaCroix's main hero here. Like, oh no, it's like the only person who looks like things might go badly is
30
J-Bay.
seconds to
Like,
battle.
he's kind of vulnerable. I mean, he can break the trees, which is funny, but he's kind of vulnerable to the.
We've seen JB games where it's supposed to go badly, and
Hi, Otto. Getting stomped by his. Getting stomped by the teammate that he had when he went to finals. And by the way, you know how awesome of an anti-mage this game is? He just got first blood for free! He's in the off lane?
Begins.
We doing this again?
What is it? Lineage Medusa.
Yeah, laning against
Oh,
Dusa
yeah,
and
like-
and Furion. Which, in fairness,
Literally, as soon as he gets level 6, Medusa has to leave this lane, so it makes sense in a way.
yeah, they also have 0 kill pressure on him. Like, literally, once he has Blink, they get, like, 1 level of Blink and 1 level of Counterspell, and they can't do anything. So they're doing a full lane swap this time. Big Boy LaCroix gonna meet with the Pudge and the Marcy up here in the safe lane. Not like Centaur would have been a bad pick for that matchup either, but I guess Anti-Mage is a little worried about the Hook Pure damage and the Marcy Fizz damage here. El Ping, senor. I'm imagining that as like a waiter in a restaurant. Like, here's your ping, sir. Fortunately, this is going to be very bad until he gets level 2.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
He's not dead, okay. Ducks into the fog.
Well, this is funny.
Concerning.
He's dead.
Oh no! Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. So the good news for Anti-Mage is that he's invincible when he gets Blink and Counterspell. The bad news for Anti-Mage is he doesn't have that yet.
The bad news is they realized that, so they went sicko mode on him before he could get those spells.
And they're also gonna run over the Centaur here at top. That's not great. Yeah, it's kind of the rough thing about being in this particular spot. It's just a lot. It's a lot easier to get to that level 2 quicker if you're in the safe lane. The creeps matching up closer to your tower just means it's safer to just stay around the wave. You know, oftentimes you can, if you're like super scared and it's like really bad to do it, don't, mind you, but like if you're super scared for some reason, it's not the hardest thing in the world to just sit back by T1 and wait for level 2 to come out. Can't do that if you're offlane. And that's where Anti-Mage is right now, and if he's not the offlaner. Flexy's gonna take a spill here, let's check that out. It's kind of bad. It's probably, like, for example, a lot of lanes, it's Viper's biggest weakness as an offlaner. There's very many times where he doesn't do anything till he's level 2. Sometimes you can just kill him at level 1. Ban as well if he levels Curse of Avernus first.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be like constantly aware of these little
Radiant's courier
windows of time before these heroes get spikes.
Yep.
So, good on these two.
Does have his blink now, so he's really... There's not much left that's going to kill him besides the War of Attrition. We're going to make the pull here. So far, at the very least, even if they're down 2 kills, they did still get the first blood, and they're just owning for lasted so far. Nobody's, like, close. Marcy started out by putting the Centaur Warner... Okay, Medusa's getting closer. Marcy started out by putting Centaur on the wrong foot, but the longer this lane goes, the worse it's going to get for her. His courier is going to be fine. Whew. That was good. Would hate to see out of on Bismarck committing a war crime. They'd have to kick him out of the Chancellery again.
Are you even trying?
Sometimes these techie sound effects just randomly feel like twice as loud, and I'm not really sure why. Has a quelling blade, that's nice. I'm gonna Reflexy again. Which is, for the most part, the most you're gonna get done out of here. Otto von Bismarck has blamed the outcome of this game on the fact that everybody in the series was thinking about finals rather than this matchup. Huh. It's an interesting way to put it. Something I don't know if we ever really talk much about on when we're talking about brackets is, you know, there are often these matchups on bracket where people come in saying, okay, these guys are jabronis, who cares about them? Let's just use this week as an extra week of prep work for, like, the real team we're afraid of, and then they get owned. I think that happened to Princess back in Season 13. They didn't take the auto team seriously and got hit for it. I think that's part of what happened to MK Ulti in the same season. I'm sure you could tell many stories of bracket chokes that look like that. Of whoops, we forgot to actually acknowledge this as a threat.
Whoops, we got outdrafted.
Yeah, we got super outdrafted twice in a row because we didn't think about who we were picking or banning. We're just like, oh, this team's just J-Bay. Get rid of J-Bay, bro. Not
I mean,
easy.
it's true, but apparently it's not true today.
It's not true, it's the problem. It's what people think the team is, I think, but it's not really what the team is or has been. I mean, say what you will about Reflexy the person, and his peculiar sensitivity to voice lines. But this is still probably the biggest, baddest soft lane in this whole season, right? Like, I don't think... Not only is this the biggest, baddest off lane in this whole season, I don't think there's one that's really that close to it. I mean, the Space Cowboy off lane can be close. I think they're often on heroes where they don't, like, get to do funny things with it. The Dusty and... Oh. Flexi getting hammered here. But this time, looking like it might be an equal trade. Why is Pudge so fast, though? Yeah, just gonna be 1-for-1 here. Death and I do indeed have a friend in common. Pudge goes down for considerably more than the Rubik did, which is not great.
Supports trade, that means the pause 1 wins. Wait,
yeah,
pause
that's true.
1's not in this lane.
Radiant's top tower
Well, that means that the guy pretending to be the puzzle is gonna win here.
That's true.
Supports trade, that means the guy who has the better long game wins, and today it means that somebody is peeling the hell out. Okay, Reedy. Let's talk about... Okay, Reedy, let's talk about the war of attrition. Let's talk about not leveling this a single time against Medusa.
He dies
Ready.
there anyway, maybe? How much HP did he have left?
I don't
He
know.
might die anyway.
Can you not just instantly reflect this if the, like,
Oh,
does
you
it
can
not eat
reflect
that?
it, yeah, that's true. I just didn't even think about that. I thought it bounced
Rip
from him,
DP. DP gets run over. Otto von Bismarck comes in at like half health to try and get a revenge kill. Gets pretty close. Anti-Mage is like, oh, this place seems awesome.
Dude, what are you doing?
I wanted the kill on the Nature's Prophet as the answer.
Psychopath, dude. I get it, but like, come on. I get the mentality though. It's like I see any kill on the map, I TP to it. Alright, KS.
That's sad.
Okay. Yeah,
And here
that's,
comes Lesh to try and turn things around. It's a little unlikely he's going to be able to.
Blow that man.
Might get the ghouls. Yep,
He's
he
dead.
finds himself grabbed by the ghoulies. Actually, it would make more sense if I said that when he hooked somebody, wouldn't it? Oh well. It's like an NES
Probably.
game, I think. Grabbed by the ghoulies.
Don't ask me. I don't know anything
sure
about
it's
media
also
made before the year 2000.
What about Smells Like Teen Spirit?
Yeah. Well. True. Smells like
Yeah.
Nirvana.
That's true. You remember that time that janitor took that donut out of like the water that the mop was hanging out in?
I do remember that.
Just took a big
I was
bite
there.
out of it. You were there? That's crazy. You weren't even born yet.
That's crazy, I know. I was there in spirit.
Dire's
There we go.
structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That's so sad. They just put down the observer ward and walk away and it dies in a half a second. Anti-Mage
Oh
takes
my-
another 2/3 of his HP from the snake as he will just not level counterspell by God.
Well, you couldn't have reflected that one, to be fair.
If it works the same way as
Hey,
the... Yeah.
God bless.
If it works the same
Great
way
US.
as the, like the Lincolns and Lotus reflect rules, those work on snakes that aren't directly targeting you.
I'm pretty confident you can't reflect the snake unless it's unit targeted.
Sad. One thing you can do is not take, 15% extra damage from it.
You can die 90 times in this lane and still kill this Medusa over and over again.
It's probably true.
Dire's middle tower
But I would
is
rather
under
not
attack.
die a million times,
Probably. He's only died. He's only
I only died 3
died
times, and
3
also
times.
only the bottom last hits in the entire server, but So doing about
Yeah,
as
I mean,
well
he'll
as
get,
this
like,
DP
his-
who's just gotten owned this lane with nothing else happening.
Like 19-minute battle fury or something. I don't know.
There you go. They're looking to go for just straight into blank here. Probably not a bad idea. I feel like they're going to struggle to kill him when team fights actually start up. With Shrek looking for a Yule Scepter. Techie's looking for absolutely nothing. Won't even tell us what Techie's is thinking. No, where's your Quelling Blade? Oh my god, he hesitated so much on that. That's so sad.
Dire's middle tower.
He probably actually gets away with that if he does that at the first opportunity, but he gets kind of he's kind of befuddled there. Does
Yeah,
not
happens
expect
to
the
the best of
trees.
them. If anyone's gonna say they've never played against Nature's Prophet and done that, it's a lie.
I've never had that happen to me as Nature's Prophet.
Never
against
had it
Nature's
happen to you
Prophet.
as Nature's Prophet.
Never had it happen to me against a
Not a
Nature's
big-
Prophet.
Not a big ability draft player.
True.
Dire's bottom
They're
tower
right
is
back
under
in the thick of
attack.
things here. El Ping Senor does have himself an ult, so does J-Bay, and they're both equally willing to use it. Pudge tries to ult
Oh
and
my.
immediately gets it interrupted. I have a feeling that's going to be more often than not the story of this game. If Anti Mage had used his ult on Death Prophet there, she actually does probably take like half her HP. Gets the shit scared out of her, but he declines to do it. Big Boiler Croy ends up taking the kill streak. Let's switch over to the net worth charts here. Honestly, the biggest surprise to me on the net worth chart is that Anti-Mage is somehow worth more than the DP. I guess that first blood money.
Doesn't want that shitty level 1 Mana Wood against the Medusa? Question mark.
Fascinating. DP tries to come back in,
Whatever.
sensing that Leshrac is gone. Still actually cares very little for this procession of events. Oh, he TP'd out. That would be why. Lexi has no Calling
my.
Blade. A little unfortunate. They, without the Leshrac, these guys feel like half their size.
Middle tower
Just get kind of run over by the enemy lineup. El Ping
That was the
Senor.
story of my life.
El Ping Senor.
tower is under attack.
This is kind of unfortunate. No, you can't get the kill!
Yeah, he
Ran out
doesn't
of
have the mana to run up there.
Very sad.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Marcy takes out the top T1. I was about to say, actually, somehow the first tower to fall. No, it's actually the third. As this lane has been left derelict for a very long time.
Something sad about that if you take it out of context. Like earlier, you're like, oh, it's not just J-Bay, and then without J-Bay, they feel like half their size.
It's true.
I don't know. It's not going to be true in this game because again, this AM can feed relentlessly and still kill Medusa.
Yeah, that's true.
Assuming he levels his ult,
At some point.
which he might not do.
Yeah.
He might do it at 11-12, which would be very sad.
That would be kind of funny though. This man has one direct that's just a farm. At least he's got a level of counterspell now.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair because again, your direct competitor is the Medusa, and you can kill that hero literally at any point in any game. So, honestly, I'm not against the farming strategy in this game.
Sadly, he's been TPing into a lot of fights to make that work, but you know how it goes. They bring the whole party in to try and get rid of Leshrac. He responds with an amazing strategy called right-clicking and walking the other way. Amazing how that one works. Guess that happens when you have like the sprout, which you can Quelling Blade through, The Marcy like landing on you stun, which is 1/8 of a second long, and the Pudge ult, which is preventable. I guess there's also the Medusa ult that's preventable. But this is like a terrible team for CC, really. They're going to have a lot of problems this game with guys right-clicking away from them, unless the hooks are landing true and getting somebody relevant whenever they happen. Marcy versus Anti-Mage, who would win? Never mind.
Probably Marcy.
Big Boy LaCroix has got his Blink Dagger now. He's gone all in on his E, presumably because he's against Medusa, and you know.
The seeds of fortune.
Going for a Lotus Orb here. Big Boy LaCroix is going to buy this item again. Oh, he tried to buy the ring in the secret shop, I know that feeling. Big Boy LaCroix is going to buy Lotus Orb both of the games. He's against the team with the Lotus Orb themed name. Is that irony or what? Kind of a one-trick Lotus Orb game. It's really just here for the, I guess to clear the DP silence as well. It's really just here for the, okay, he's really just here to die. Oh my god, 30 HP. He actually... Oh man, if he hadn't gotten that ring, that's funny. If he hadn't gotten that ring of region, he actually would be dead right now. Did have to waste a Centaur ult for that, but also did waste half of DP's health. Not that anyone seems too concerned with the idea of actually killing her right now. They're getting a little concerned.
He got Mana Void. Nice.
J-Bay kind of positioning like he wants to get a kill. Got Mana Void at level 9.
And he's getting a 18-minute Fury.
He's not going to level his level 10. He hates traits. Never mind, he likes 9 strength. Kind of seems pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. It's like a bad level 10
Mana
choice.
Void is literally useless, basically, unless you're facing a Storm Spirit.
Yeah, so
even Medusa is like, I don't know.
So your two choices at level 10 are Mana Void Radius and less strength than a pair of Power Treads.
Yeah, well, what can you do?
No, the Kobold! Okay, it died of natural causes, that's fine.
So he'll have his Fury within the next 60 seconds.
We'll see. That's going to do something that has been a little bit less common than you'd think so far in a game of the Lesh, which is push over this tower. It's gotten the T1 mid, has not really made any concerted pushing efforts as a team since. He's going to knock down the bot T1, they're going to find Anti-Mage in the jungle, he's going to blink away. Out of on Bismarck is almost going to step on a Lego and then think to himself, it's probably a mine, isn't it? And then get the hell out. There's the Battle Fury. A little later than you said, but not too much later.
It's 18 minutes. It is 18 minutes.
Yeah, but you said it was going to be 1 minute later at 16 minutes. You said within the next 16 seconds.
That was like 50 seconds ago.
I know, that's why it was later, but not too much later. You updated your call to be 17 minutes. And then it was 18. And then Nick's courier died while he was in the GG jungle looking for Anti-Mage. Died with his vampire fangs on him. Wasn't that... It's still kind of surreal to see that item in people's inventories. It feels like it's been gone for an eternity.
Interesting.
Yeah, just gonna Exo do Roche.
Don't think it's doable. I'll be real with you.
It would certainly as hell not be doable if anybody on the Dire knew this was happening. Like if they had any vision up here, if they were looking at this Roche pit, like this would be so fucked.
It is barely doable.
Yep. Radiant do 2 scans, thinking they're in the GG jungle. Nope, they're in Roche, baby. They're far from where they thought they were. Oh, you're right.
Getting in case somebody was walking there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Medusa is at the top of the net worth charts. Anti-Mage is very quickly catching up at this point, though. It is near to second place, and second place is a guy in his own team, so not the best situation.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, this is going to be real awkward for Marcy. But Anti-Mage doesn't think it's just Marcy.
No, I think he thinks Marcy can kill him if he can.
Well, certainly can if you spend 50% of your life while walking away from him. Or
The
from
thing
her.
is, he'd already ulted, so like, kind of awkward to fight him there.
He had Oh, the Marcy had already
Marcy?
ulted. I thought you meant
Yeah.
like the Anti-Mage had already ulted. On what?
No, the Marcy had ulted. So like, if you fight him, that same thing happens to you, because Anti-Mage has pretty dog shit HP.
Yeah, the sad thing is that he couldn't decide if he wanted to shit or get out the pod. He, like, starts running away immediately, presumably thinking that there are 4 people behind him, then realizes that's not the case, and only then tries to fight when the ult is already up, and then he just gets pummeled to death. So he was just he was deep in the bowels of indecision there. I think the indecision killed him. Like if he just decided hell no and just blinked out immediately, then he lives. If he starts fighting her before she starts using her ult and gets his counter spell at a better time, he probably at least lives. But neither of those things are what happened. Yasha coming out very soon.
All in service to imbalance.
Randy, when's the Yasha gonna get done? The Yasha, the Manta style, rather.
Well, I don't know that timing as well as I know pure timing. Later than it would have been if that didn't happen.
Slightly unfortunate. Again, it feels like the Radiant versus the Dire Vision game is... Well, I mean, in that case, it's not even getting owned for the Vision. They have more Vision, he's just not playing somewhere there was. That's a little unfortunate. Here comes the EXO.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top
Dyer's
tower
gonna
has
take a
fallen.
quick spill here,
Radiant's
as
middle tower
everybody
is under
TPs
attack.
back home to that T2.
Radiant's courier has
Thinking
been defeated.
Leshrek might still be nearby, and they're mostly right. Oh, they're gonna go all in on techies. Yeah. And then Effie laugh in chat.
Tis mine.
Anti-Mage fell so much after those 2 deaths that he was almost getting kind of close to as low on the net worth charts as this DP is. Holy crap, she feels gone.
Is DP
My,
secretly a useless hero, or is it just people not playing it well?
My
I don't know.
Evolution Pyro in jail. I mean, this is like a terrible DP game. I don't think she's good enough anymore that you can just stick her in anything. Like, I think you have to have a good game for her. And the problem is that she's one of those heroes where it's like,
Dire's
there are very few heroes in the game that DP outright counters or outright counters DP. The thing you need with DP is a good team for it. She'd be better on the other team than she would this one, right? Like, you want to have stuns with DP. You want to have some ability to keep people in the EXO and keep the threat of the EXO high, and she doesn't have that. You want to have at least got some kind of stuns. She doesn't really have that. You want to have people who can kind of like keep up with the EXO and keep running through with it, and she doesn't really have that either, except for Marcy, which is one hero. Everybody takes this T2, TP's out again.
is under attack.
But the point of the matter is, yeah, you need good chemistry. There goes the Aegis. You need to get good chemistry with your team to make the Death Prophet work. Like, It is one of those interesting situations where it's like what she's facing almost doesn't matter if she's got a good team comp with it. There's like a few dreadful, awful things. There's a few things that are dreadful, awful into it. Not the majority. Majority of the time, you just need to get a team comp with it, and this is not it. This is certainly not it. Oh, no Marcy hanging out in the jungle this time. Though he does get the crappy camp with one guy in it. Marcy left a present for him. These are his Treants? What the hell? That's a weird looking set. I don't think I've ever seen those particular Treants, which is weird because I know I've seen people use that set before. I guess most people just don't
Mine
use
are
it.
little tomatoes. Not that you would know because I don't level that spell.
It's true.
Dire's bottom tower has
Gonna take out the bot T2 here, just go right for the Tormentor. Certainly just gonna get it.
They just sweep outers.
Gonna go to Pudge.
Radiant's
So now
top
he
tower
has a
has
save for the
fallen.
Dusa.
Dire's bottom
And
tower
now they're
is
going
under
to sweep to T3.
attack. Structures are
Okay.
fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Nope, they're going to bait TPs and then
Alright.
immediately leave. They better be careful about how they get out of here. Okay. They're going to get out of here by all TPing out of here, which is not the worst way to go about it, except for Elping, Senor, and Ghouls. Oh my god, Ghouls almost just died in the minefield.
Radiant's top tower is
And
under
now, having learned his lesson, he will... Oh no! Oh my god!
That's depressing.
Ah!
Purged.
Oh, you hate to see it. That's the first kill they've gotten in quite a while, feels like. Antistyle is out, he's going for MKB next, interestingly. This is one anti-mage who's decided that he's too cool for attack speed. Let's see... Does anything with Marcy give you, like, myth chance? No?
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Pass?
attack.
Medusa... Okay, Medusa has Butterfly, that would be why. That was a
Yeah.
very confusing MKB purchase. Like, you know, I didn't think Medusa was already going to have it. I figured she would be building to it, right? Like, I was just sitting here like, okay, so Anti-Mage is buying something right now for Medusa's 6th item?
Get it to force the anti-mage to buy that.
Yep. And she's getting one herself, just in case Anti-Mage decides to try the same thing.
Get it to force the Medusa to buy that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a little
nobody-
less concerning to be attacked by a Medusa than anti-mage, but
It's true.
Radiant structures are fortified.
it's not quite as forceful, but
Also, there's no evasion on the Dire yet. Nobody's even thinking about anything that's going to give that to him quite yet. I mean, Anti-Mage is basically invariably going to build a Butterfly, I think.
Radiant's bottom tower
But
is
not
under
yet.
attack.
It's just sitting here making me question everything I know about Dota 2. I'm just sitting here like, so what, maybe there's some kind of skill on Marcy, you know?
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Maybe
attack.
Leshrac does that now. Maybe
Dire's
there's some
top
kind of
tower is under
myth
attack.
chance on Lightning or something. I don't know. Going for T3s again. Every time this team leaves its space, the Radiant just runs at T3s, gets everybody to TP to them, and then walks away. Or maybe they're actually going all in on it this time, perhaps.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Nice shot.
it's actually TFing.
2-man.
okay.
Oh my god, look at
Oh
that. Holy
no! Not
crap.
like this! Oh no.
So let's do a quick replay of what happened there.
Look, quick
Centaur
replay of everyone
stomped.
dying within 0.5 seconds.
Centaur stomped, which got everybody to run to where the Centaur was to try and beat him up. And then Techie's Suicide Squad attacked on top of that, which stunned everybody and did a load of damage. And then Leshrac stunned everybody on top of that, which stunned everybody and did a load of damage. And then a Mana Void happens to Medusa, who is by this point very low, which does 98% of everybody's HP bar. And in a blink of an eye, 6,221 HP is gone, and so is about 6K's worth of gold, 4K gain, 2K lost. Oh, 4.8, 1.2, but you know.
Radiant
Yeah,
structures.
so Medusa into anti-mage isn't very good.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but... Oh, goodbye, ghouls.
Okay, well.
Me and Death have a friend in common, what can I tell you? So, not Butterfly, MKB is now out on anti-mage as a result of the last matchup there. Which is pretty bad for Medusa. It's kind of like the only real... Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, the only
Please.
real way of dealing with the anti-mage he had. JB just having fun with people. As is Bloodstone going for Shiva's Guard next. Centaur Warrunner's also going for Shiva's Guard. That's super cringe. Don't do that anymore. Bye-bye, Medusa.
God
Bye-bye,
bless.
Anti-Mage. Bye-bye, Anti-Mage. He does die, but he does at least take down
You need to
Pudge
kill
before he
JB.
goes.
Like, JB needs to die or else it's the loss. Okay.
You mean JB
My
needs
guy's
to
like-
get a kill?
My guy's like 11 or 0 right now.
Dang, how'd you know?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Alrighty.
One good T3 deserves another, says the Dyer.
Radiant's
No, says Otto von Bismarck, who's going to try and cut this wave.
structures are
Sadly for him, there's already 2 waves here.
Yeah. Well. Do
Bonk.
about that.
Oh, Big Whaler Croy gonna lose most of his HP to a Centaur or not a Centaur Warrunner ult. That's him! He's gonna lose most of his HP to a Nature's Prophet ult.
has fallen.
And the boys are gonna leave town once again. All of Otto's ambitions of trying to delay game on that have fallen to ruin. And now Pages is going to get the most tantalizing wave a Techies has ever seen. And JB, you know, he's gonna get a little bit too, I guess.
You get the catapult, you know?
Yeah. My, my DP is now nearly to the same level as the support line. Furion got an Eternal Shroud. The Orchid and the Eternal Shroud, the anti-J-Bay item collection. Anti-Mage queuing up the Ags here. J-Bay wants to find out that Marcy has VK beat. Isn't even news, that's her 6th second. Kind of an interesting bluff there. Uh-oh. Bye-bye, Reflexing.
Okay. Rip.
He actually died so fast that Pudge tried to dismember him, but he died, so he just ate Marcy instead for a second. And now he's got a kobold. Isn't that nice? Additional passive income it is. That's 30 GPM for free, huh?
Radiant are scanning.
Those creep passes leveling up certainly makes a late game shovel look even more appetizing than before. Just use that properly. That's just a philosopher's stone for the whole family. Anti-Mage says, that's cool and all, but there's some creeps here in this dead lane. Even the second Roche is pretty slow. Medusa's gonna take it this time, so she dies in 15 seconds instead of 7.5.
Yeah.
See if Anti-Mage gets the banner creep. He did! How about that? It's funny how the team that feels like they're super up indeed has a 12k net worth advantage right now. Feels like they have no Roche control. Oh, is that the twin Shivas? Hell yeah. Twin Shivas was already kind of cringe in the last patch, but now it's like, you really want to pay 2050 for a recipe for what
Literally the
really,
most expensive recipe in the game.
yep, for what really at the end of the day is 5 all stats and 15 armor and a crappy active like nuke. It's pretty. It was already pretty low, value for cost to have a second one before. Now it's like super bad. Unless you just don't trust whoever has it to begin with, which is no better. I assume, in fairness, this is probably not that... Well, I was about to say not incompetence, but I guess not that form of incompetence anyway. I assume this is not, like, two guys just decide, hell, why not? This is more two guys are probably not really talking to each other about what they're building. Two guys are probably not speaking much. But you know how it goes. Mage has got his Zags now. Gonna be a little annoying. Game is slowing to a crawl.
Dire are scanning.
Usually I would talk about who this benefits, but I mean anything that happens in this game besides dying over and over benefits the Dire. Like any play that the Dire commits to which is not feeding is in their direct interest at any point. They can play fast and be up, they can play slow and be up, they can play smart, they can play stupid, they can work smarter, they can work harder. Doesn't really matter as long as you're not just feeding. They're in the clear. Big Boiler Croy gonna go try and fix this land on the back line. It's quite awkward how they keep getting denied the Aegis. Like, I think if they had gotten that last Aegis, like if they had it right now, it's just over. Well, such luck. Techie Zags is out. Rubik Scepter is out. Track going for the Wind Waker. Deuce decided against CMKB before, but is going to go for it now.
Radiant are scanning.
And Anti-Mage is not going to give her a reason to do it, because he's going for BKB instead of Butterfly. So it will actually be a pointless MKB if Medusa decides to get it. I mean, I guess hypothetically he could get Ag's Blessing and Butterfly, but... Or he could get it over the... No, he's just going to sell the Wraith Band for it, so I guess he could get Ag's Blessing and Butterfly, but I doubt he's going to do that when he sees Medusa as MKB. He's going to do a little bit of funny
Forcing him
split.
not to buy Butterfly, you see.
There we go.
It's like a chess match.
Yeah, it's like a chess match, it rhymes.
It's like a chess match, except you already
Radiant's
lost
bottom tower is under attack.
because you picked Medusa. So it's not really like it's like a depressing chess match, I guess.
Trying to catch out the Anti-Mage here. They're trying to pincer him a little bit. Furion scouting out the liner trait. Never mind, Furion no longer wants to be the guy scouting out the liner retreat. Furion wants to be the guy sitting on his comfy couch back at home. And Anti-Mage is going to get up for free. Leshrac pushing out this wave. Centaur going for the Eternal Shroud as his next item. I don't know if I really like here. I feel like the amount of magic damage compared to everything else they have is like really small. This isn't spell damage, this is magic damage. Or no. No, yeah, it is. It takes from spell damage, but it's magic resist, so.
Are scanning.
Well, you will very easily charge up the magic shield. The only thing that's really gonna do is like this is a magic damage, surely. Oh no, it actually is. Never mind. So I guess there is reason. What the hell? Why would that be magic damage? Dear Val, make this physical damage. What are you thinking?
Double damage.
Because that's better than it looked. Anti-Mage is going to jump on this VS, or not VS, jump on this deep here before remembering, oh wait, I have literally no CC. And immediately kills up a Basher! That's pretty funny.
Because of the fear of God.
It's really like he forgot, like, he just jumped on her, didn't get her, and is like, hey, wait a minute. Oh yeah.
Are scanning.
Jebe actually, TP's out to go try and deal with the Furion. Doesn't find him. He's anticipated, he gets out himself. Radiant seem to be under the belief that if they push this game long enough, they win. Spoilers, the answer to that is no. You know, again, it's not that Anti-Mage is really good against the Medusa, it's that he's really good against basically everybody on that team. He's only really that bad against the Marcy and still not super bad. Just like, he's, Marcy is annoying for him, but nothing more than that. Everybody else is just people he doesn't care about. Unless he gets hooked, I guess. It's also a Super Baller Centaur game. It's not going to stop them from holding out forever, because it is this patch, and that is what you do. There have definitely been games this season where the team that could not possibly lose lost because they got impatient going uphill. Sadly, that's going to be the only way you can win, is just if they get impatient waiting 8 million years to go uphill and throw. But you know how it goes.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Anti-Mage enjoying terrorizing everybody with his illusions. Rubik enjoying terrorizing everybody with the Nature's Prophet ult. How does he even have that? He doesn't. It was actually in pace. It just looked like it was hitting his own team. It's kind of weird. Now it's Anti-Mage's turn to fruitlessly look for Furion in the jungle. Oh, he actually got to find him.
Gonna fruitfully look for him. Okay. Alrighty,
Rest in peace. Why do they care about this guy so much?
Thou art purified.
It's very fruitful. He killed him.
There you go.
Easy.
He's worth 700 gold. That put him in first place on the net worth chart, right? So there you go.
Also, who cares? Like, if you delay the game, it only benefits you. Might as well go kill Auto.
True. But also, if you don't delay the game, it only benefits you. It's Schrodinger's benefit, as it were. Why are they pushing up this dead lane? I guess they really want that Tormentor. He's gonna be getting that. Let's find out. So Rubik's got his.
At least he didn't walk uphill in a dead lane.
Techies or Centaur? It's Centaur. Centaur's shard, surprisingly good. I don't think people really think about it too much, but it can turn this guy, who really does not exist to do any damage, into an actual damage-dealing hero in pretty short order. You do need magic resist to deal with that, and there's only one guy who has it, and it's in the form of a Pipe of Insight. I guess he does also have the Mage Slayer, which does help with that. Nobody else has really got much for it. My Pudge has Strangles? What year is it? Tranks and Urn, what year is it? Tranks, Urn, and Aetherlands, what year is it? He's also got 6 salves from just digging them up over and over.
It's still good on Pudge, no? Pretty
That's
sure
true,
it is.
it's just also like the 2015 Pudge build, basically. Like, this is what you bought on Pudge when Aetherlands was first added to the game. DP picking up her Shiva's Guard here. It's not on anybody else this time, so, that. Radiant gonna scan out the Roche attempt here. We'll be very displeased to know they're not getting it in time. He just comes out, Anti-Mage is taking it. Puts away his boots, and therefore now has nowhere for Basher. Here comes Aghanim's Blessing. Centaur takes a Refresher Shard. Leave his Techies with the road. No? Where's the banner? Okay, Lesh has it. You know, the Roche banner has global play, so you could really just, you know, you just stick that in, like, the mid lane and have an awesome time. Just throw that creep equilibrium, which has been being carefully maintained for so long, in your favor very easily, or you could just like keep it in your pocket forever. That also works. I guess hypothetically, if you put it in a stupid place, Furion could immediately TP to it and kill it, but you know. But, you know, you don't need to be here, right? You can just slap that banner down. But he's gonna be here. He's gonna plant it at least. Put it in his inventory. Or the bloodstone. There we go. People act like that item doesn't have global place, but it does. Anti-mage just doing the slow siege on the tower here. Oh, he's looking to snipe the... He's doing exactly what I said he would do. Just immediately finds the banner and kills it. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Sadly, there's not really any counterplay to that on the Radiant outside of putting in a weird hiding spot. Just like there's not really much counterplay to this except landing a hook. It's easier said than done. You're in the bats.
What's the counterplay as Medusa and Anti-Mage?
NA.
Yeah, well.
Go back in time to make this game an old all-pick game and put re-pick back in. You remember when you could do that?
Yeah, I do remember that. Should have picked Storm Sword instead of Death Prophet. Be great.
Sure.
Invisibility.
Should have picked Storm Spirit instead of the Death Prophet. Should have picked, like, I don't know. Now, actually, should have just sent Death Prophet P3 and Storm Spirit mid. There we go. Real nice win-win for you there.
Like a Legion Commander offlane.
Over Magi offline. Many skills get reflected.
Sure.
Radiant tries to come out there. Centaur Warrunner immediately disengages. Does not having any of that.
That should help.
Bro, Mars actually. Mars.
Well, Mars, at the very least, even if he can blink out of the arena, at least Mars can spear him to it. So, you know, there's some danger there. You guys have to know they're playing the most boring game of Dota ever at this point, right? Like, okay, good techies initiate along with the Shrek. So much damage comes out immediately. The techie's just dead.
Yeah, right now.
I'm a Medusa Snake.
Unfortunate. Oh no, this game's gonna.
This game's not going to end, is what you're saying. This game's not going to end, but luckily, we have this.
Okay.
Nope, never mind. Game is looking a little... Nope. Here come all the buybacks, never mind. These guys are very convinced that this impossible to win with team is somehow going to get better in the long run.
So I guess I cannot blame them in this specific situation.
There you go.
99% of other games, I will blame you, but if you're literally going to get eliminated for GG, you should let the Ancient fall.
There you go. That still doesn't mean we're going to watch this at anything but 2x speed, though, so there's that. And, well, this is... If this isn't, like, the typical consequence of being in a game like this, I don't know what is. They try to go uphill. It doesn't work.
Medusa died, and there wasn't even an anti-mage on the map.
Yeah, and then Reedy tipped pages. That's not very nice. Come on, Reedy, be nice. Where's her Flexi to pause the game?
F9 key's broken. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Why is there a Roche banner here? What the hell? Megas come out. Kill is doubled. Rubik's got Exo, and he's got Sprout. Ironically, the Furion did not buy anything to deal with the Sprout. And we go home. Sorry if something really cool happened that we sped by, but I mean, I'm not watching that crap. And with that, the choke of the century has now finished out. You know, it's, well, I won't tell this story yet. I guess I'll wait until they actually get eliminated. But, or they win, I guess. That could happen. There's something very funny, though, about being eliminated by Reedy's team this week. This was just a pick to death, right? Like, they just picked themselves into a corner here. The Medusa pick was really confusing in particular. I mean, even like early 733 Medusa looked really scary in this game, right? Like, even Medusa at the height of Medusa power feels like,
Yeah.
even before the anti-mage comes out, is already in kind of a scary Medusa game. And you haven't banned everything that it owns, right? Like, you did not ban out the anti-mage, and that feels super bad. Maybe they were thinking Reedy didn't want to play it. Maybe they were thinking he had very little experience on it. And in fairness, he is only rank 3 on it, so it's not the worst assumption in the world, I guess. But then also, Baches is a rank 5 techies, and also I think that's like her most or second most played hero. I don't know.
No Dota Plus. What can you do?
What can you do? Yeah, I mean, anti-mage just ran over everybody. They just picked themselves to death, and that's it for the Nick team, and that's kind of awkward. Because, you know, I really only I had really only expected, to be honest with you, to talk about these guys at least in the semifinals. I really thought I would be talking about them at the end of the last game, but now it's time for the old Lotus Orbange chicken post-mortem, as it were. So, who are we starting with? Who are we talking about first?
This time we're doing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah,
Opposite of last time.
takes the least amount of thought. Otto von Bismarck. Well, it's a funny experiment to have you here as a support, and it was really nice to have you. Also, get the hell out. It felt like the reason like Lotus Orbange Chicken was a very inconsistent entity, wasn't it? Really, I think of the number one teams that have been like the consistent number one over the season that we've had in LD2L, they definitely felt like the least dominant. I mean, think about this team, which came in as not only the number one, I believe the clear number one as well. This team came into this series. Compare them to like the Backdoor Boys. Compare them to the Sandgangers. Compare them to the some of these teams that have won like, or even at least been on top, like MK Ulti in Season 13, where they did choke too, but compare them to some of the other top teams that we've seen through history, and it's like, they didn't feel like ever like they were pulling ahead that much because of their inconsistency. It felt like there were a lot of these Lotus Orbange chicken matches where you look at the outcome of the match and you just scratch your head. Like, how did this happen? How was this not a stomp? You know, what happened here? And I think a big part of that inconsistency was the inconsistency between Otto von Bismarck playing actually a support hero from Pause 5 and Otto von Bismarck just playing like a mid or Pause 1 from Pause 5. And that's really the long and short of it. It felt like you definitely did see a lot of MMR drop when he actually was on like a proper supporting hero, compared to when he was just like on like Quap or something and just farming a little slower than usual, you know? And I think, that's a big reason is these guys are wanting the Lone Wolf team 1 week after the Lone Wolf team won once Hollywood, for example, like, there's a lot of inconsistency going on here. I think that's a big part of it. It was an interesting experiment. Get the hell out. I don't want to see you here next season unless you actually do lose like 2,000 MMR or something. Like, no,
See
dude.
Sunday though.
Yeah, it's true. We're gonna see him Sunday, but no, dude, stop. Don't be in this season. You're like 1,000 MMR over the cap. What are we doing? Get out of here. Ghoul. He was in the unfortunate position this season. He had to come in as a replacement in week 2. At least, unlike Reedy, they actually did have a full-time replacement. Never felt like he clicked. Never felt like he was really like you could feel him standing out. And I think a lot of that was it's like I think when Nick drafted out loading when he drafted out the guy who had to leave, I think he had a very specific role in mind for the guy. I think he was picking like very specifically around the pool, and unfortunately Ghoul is not that guy, right? So he replaced somebody who was like a typecasted pick and was not like himself typecasted basically, right? Like he was not he did not fill kind of the same mold. And as a result, as far as like the team strategy went, it always did feel like, you have these 4 other guys and then you have Ghoul. You could definitely tell he was the replacement player. That much is obvious, which is unfortunate. It's not his fault. I mean, this is the only person whose fault it was the guy who didn't know that his dodgeball league was playing on Sundays, right? Like this is a zero fault game from these two at the very least. So the the unfortunate reality of the situation is it's kind of hard to make a judgment specifically on Ghoul since the ghoulishness of Ghoul, I think, he just wasn't meant for this role. He wasn't meant for this team. He was meant for other greater things. So maybe he comes back next season. We get a more like proper display of what's changed for the guys in season 12. Puzz 3. You've got captain of the team Nick. Certainly had an interesting season, especially after coming back. I mean, this is a guy who did have to kind of fall back into LD2L. He was well above it. Like I think in season 14 he signed up and he was over cap, and I think he signed up in 15 as well to make it, but he did slide back down. It was interesting to see him come out in this season because I don't think he never really came out in this season with anybody that I'd say felt like a very conventional Pause 3 hero. I mean, he was getting his Omni Knight banned. He had that insane Primal Flex back in week 1 against this team, actually. He had that insane Primal Beast Flex all the way back in week 1 that just completely demolished these guys, right? These guys who just ran over him 2-0. The the picks were interesting, the executions were interesting. As a captain, the drafts, and probably at least a little bit influenced by Otto, I'm guessing, but as a captain, the drafts I felt like were creative. They were interesting. They were a nice upside, especially in the often uncompetitive games this team had. That's good. Drafted a strong lineup. That was good. The big downside is that sometimes funny doesn't win you games. Sometimes interesting and creative doesn't do it for you. Sometimes you really do just have to fall back on, what if tried, what if true. Sometimes the stinky old guard really is right. Sometimes you really do just have to break out like the old Pause 3 DK, which, I mean, I guess in fairness, he almost did in the last round. Sometimes you really do just have to break out the old, well, there's not really that many offlaners in the meta right now anyway, to be frank, but you know how it goes. Very dead roll. The Sand King. Stuff like that, right? But, it's a minor critique. I don't think that was like a big reason like this series happened. I don't think it was really dragging the team much down through the season, but it definitely did feel like the Marcy pick here was silly. What were you thinking? Get out of here. It kind of half worked for a while, mostly because Reedy kept blumbling into it, but either way, as a player, I think it's almost like a microcosm of the same things. Like creative choices, creative positioning, creative play calls sometimes got too creative. Bring it. You don't have to put on your suit and tie and consign yourself to being one of those guys picking Sand King every single game or whatever. Don't take that the wrong way by any stretch of the imagination. But like reel it back in 10%, and I feel like you're gonna get a lot more consistent results. Pause 2 is Chobro. Congratulations, Chobro. This guy's shown. Both of them are having rookie seasons, right? Chobro and Shone are having rookie seasons. Shone, like, half of Shone's games are him queuing with, like, divine and immortal players. But Chobro was the guy who got accused of being a smurf. So there's that.
Well,
El Ping Senor. I think Chobro actually, speaking of teams that have been here before, actually, at least if you believe the testimony of him, kind of feels a lot like Laser Goes Pew Pew, if you remember that guy who won that season, for the record. In that he feels like the absolute apex of the one hero guy. Like, if El Ping Senor is on his one hero, if he's on the OD in particular, then he just feels like he's absolutely dominating people. He feels like he's absolutely running everybody over. And if you ban like two guys, it feels like the guy is actually at like a Herald MMR. It is pretty nuts, the night and day comparison between those banned out heroes. And where he's at, I don't know what to say, because it's like, I feel like if he wants to gain MMR, this is a great way to do it. You know, London, who used to play here, I think he got all the way up to like High Divines just by playing Pangolier over and over and over when he was really good, right? Like, it's a great way to climb. If you want to broaden your experience as an LD2L player, like, or as an other league player, like an RD2L player, it definitely might not be a bad idea. At least get a third guy, right? Like, at least don't be able to get, I mean, really killed in one ban. Let's be honest. You take the OD off, you're already in trouble. But at least like get up to 3 where you feel like you're really on that level, and you're more than just first ban phase, or at least you're soaking up the entire thing. And for where you are on this team, or as a player MMR wise, that's awesome. Evolution Pyro. Evolution Pyro and Lambert have very similar seasons, don't you think? Very good mechanical players who were often running over their lanes, but also had a bad tendency of just picking themselves to death, unfortunately. And I think you see that here. Like, there's no way Evolution Pyro didn't have some stake in this choice, right? Like, Nick's his IRL buddy, for God's sake. There's no way he couldn't have vetoed this, right? No way he couldn't have said, no, I ain't playing the Medusa. Here we are. Feels like Evolution Pyro is, like, super duper ultra all about those matchups, and another reason for this team's inconsistency. Like, he will... If the enemy team doesn't know how to counterpick, and a lot of the teams this season didn't. I feel like this was a fairly weak draft season, right? Overall. If the enemy team doesn't know how to counterpick, it feels like this Evolution Pyro guy is in like a great spot. If he's in a game where he's even doing like okay with his heroes, if he's in a situation where he gets to pick something fairly early and have it go unanswered, he's in hog heaven. If you can counterpick this guy even a little bit, it feels like the guy sinks. Feels like you don't have a puzzle on player anymore. I mean, look at what happened this game. He tried his best, he tried his damnedest, but he's Medusa into anti-mage. What are you going to do, right? Seen that a few other times in the season as well. So, I think the Tao of knowing your matchups, the Tao of knowing what to do when you're in a down game. I mean, this one probably wasn't possible. This one was probably legitimately a loss in draft. But there are other games where it's like you can have a game where you're down in draft and you're not out. Feels like he struggles in those as well. Outside of literally just a lane phase. I don't know if he lost a lane this season, but also he had like a 6K goddamn support player, so The, at the end of the day, definitely feels like learning the matchups, picking better around them, picking yourself out, setting yourself up for success. It's a very important part of your job here. And, I guess that's all we gotta say. Anything to add to any of that?
nope.
If you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg today to sign up. It's too late to get into this season, obviously, but in-housers are actually starting early this time around, Season 18, around the corner. That could be pretty close. All kinds of fun is happening. ld2l.gg. Click that link to that Discord, and we will see you for the Black Otter Tall Ball series.